All right, YouTube, this is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simp and All Subjects channel. And I want to continue talking about politics on this video. We're going to come back later on with videos about other things, but we're talking about politics right now. Now, I want to give you a definition or two of
conservatism.
Conservatism. Like I talked earlier about how a lot of these people are plants. They don't line up with the traditional and the historical conservatives. They line up with the traditional and conservative Democrats. Let me give you an example. To say that you don't believe in reparations, that's like democratic. That's democratic. See, they want you to believe it flipped. But Biden had his chance. Biden gave us as little stimulus money as he could and then took it back. I mean, if that ain't like the way the slave masters used to do things, what is? So the definition of
conservatism:
commitment, not just saying, not just lip service. You understand this, Pearly? It's not just lip service. Commitment to traditional values. Now, let me ask y'all something before I finish this definition. Is being a racist a traditional value or no? Moving on. And ideas with opposition to change or innovation. Let me read it again. Commitment to traditional values and ideas with opposition to change or innovation. And then they got, in parentheses, proponents of theological conservatism. The second definition they have is the holding of political values that favor free enterprise. Now, let me ask you something. Now. Based on what you know about black consumers, would reparation increase free enterprise or no? Moving on. Private ownership and socially traditional idea. Let's go here. Because I say that we should get reparations does not mean that I'm waiting for reparations. So come on. See, what y'all do, this is what some people do. They just throw stuff out there. And then they avoid debates and all that, because they want you to believe that they know what they're talking about. Well, if you know what you're talking about, prove what you're talking about. All they gonna do is block, put you backstage, block, put you backstage, block, put you backstage. They ain't gonna prove none of their beliefs. So you can't just say you have a political view. You have to hold to political views. When you saying you're a conservative, you saying that you agree along the lines of the abolitionists. That's what you're saying. Freedom of speech, what did they come up with? They came up with the Constitution. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, right to bear arms. See, they say they believe that. They say they believe it, but their actions say something else. That's how I know that it's plants on both sides. It's plants. Okay. They favor free enterprise, private ownership, and socially traditional ideas, such as marriage between a man and a woman, such as businesses, prosperity. Let's go to a breakdown. I want to show you something. Real quick. I'm finna show you what liberal is, because y'all vote, but y'all don't even be knowing what this stuff is. Definition of liberalism. We're going to compare the two. And I'm going to show you why. People like Fresh and Fit and Pearly Things and even Candace Owens. Like, if you try to to copyright strike people, that's not freedom of speech. That's why I say it's the holding to. See, if they really was down with the conservatives, they wouldn't be trying to get people channels took down. Okay, let's look at it. Liberalism is a political and economic doctrine that emphasizes individual autonomy, equality of opportunity, and the protection of individual rights. Boy, they're trying to fabricate this. Okay, now let me show you. Let me show you how they lying. It says protection of individual rights. What was Biden and the Democrats trying to force people to do? I ain't even got to mention it because I already know they're going to shout about it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That was Biden and the Democrat trying to force everybody to do a certain thing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It says, and the protection of individual rights primarily to life, liberty, and property. Okay, you protected individual rights. What about the unborn fetuses? You see how they got plants on both sides? This is just fluff. And property, originally against the state and later against both the state and private economic actors, including business. Now let's go into a more extensive. Let's go to the Britannica. Let's see what the Britannica says. It says pretty much the same thing. It says liberals typically believe that government is necessary to protect individuals from being harmed by others, but they also recognize that government itself can pose a threat to liberty. No, they don't. No, they don't. Let me show you something. If they recognize that, then why every time it come Trump versus Biden time, police brutality, this disease. Oh, we need to do this. Oh, we shouldn't change this. They can't win. Like Adrian said on Rocky, they can't win without some type of garbage in the game. Now, and the reason why the conservatives have yet to be able to win the black vote is because they have plants on their side too. They ain't no more John Browns, Abraham Lincolns. They got people that's not even really conservatives who they think like Democrats but say they Republican. A real conservative is not going to stand in the way of black enterprise. And you can say what you want, you black people who you look like us but you think like them. There's a lot of people on YouTube like that. Anton Daniels, you look like us, but you think like them. So we're gonna keep breaking down this thing so I can keep showing you how they got plants on both sides, and it's leading to the destruction of this country. This country is supposed to be the superpower. This country is supposed to be the first world at the top of everything, and they losing it because Russia, you can say what you want about morals, but morals build character. And character builds trust. So if it takes Vladimir Putin to say, hey man, we ain't doing all that old weird stuff, but then in America, you saying we doing all that weird stuff. Guess who gonna get all the power? And then you hypocritical like you only help the fair-skinned people nations, but you don't help Africa. And then Putin comes in and he helps Africa, and now he getting they trust or whatever. Because there are white people that hate black people to the point where they don't care what anybody else get, as long as it's not black people. And this is why even in the lottery, even in the state lotteries, You see the larger jackpots going to areas with no black people. If you don't think that's intentional, especially here in Wisconsin, they notorious for it. You don't believe me? If you don't believe me, go on WisconsinLottery.com, click on Message Center, and look at where they winning the money at. When you see these cities, do a demographic on these cities, and tell me I'm wrong. 1,000, they don't care about that. That ain't gonna change your life. It'll just temporarily improve your situation. When you start winning 100,000, 300,000, a million, that's gonna change your life, and they know this. And think about it like this: in a fair system, wouldn't the place where the people play the most have the most winners? So in this area, Milwaukee, Tulsa, West Allis, Brookfield, there's black people scattered throughout these areas. And probably that's the reason why they don't win like that. There be people winning in towns with 3,000 people, more than in towns with 3 million people. That's strategic. That's why I'll never 100% trust. I'll try it. I'll chance. I'll never 100% trust any of these economic systems. Not the stock market, not Bitcoin, not the hedge fund, not the index fund, not the lottery. I'll never 100% trust, because I know that since the beginning of this country, you had scam artists that get rich from scamming others. And it ain't changed. It ain't changed. Only difference now is they prefer to have the power over the money, because they already used to having the money. So they want to bring everybody into some type of slavery thing. Digital currency is slavery. There ain't no way you can tell me otherwise. With a system like that, you have to literally get permission from others to make purchases, even if you got the money. All this stuff, credit score, all that stuff is intended, because we don't know what the criteria is. You know what I do know? I do know this. I know that sometimes whites and blacks have the same credit score, same income, and whites get more. That's what I know. That's why I'll never trust none of this stuff. I just won't. I won't. Or these people. Like, I don't trust these people on YouTube like that. I listen carefully when people talk. And what I'm noticing is, like, some of these big content creators, they talk like they, like, with them peoples. That's what they talk like. So don't put your trust in none of these dudes on here, man. I'm telling you. Do your research and base who you support and who you communicate with. And I'll show you something else. You ever notice how a lot of them, they try to say, this is what they try to say. They'll try to say that they don't have time to answer the comments, right? But you'll look on their comments, they only had like 50 comments. You don't got time to answer that? You got time. Some of them don't even work jobs. They got time to answer, they just don't. They think they better. They think they don't have to. Only way I'm not answering the comments, if it's like 10,000 of them, I probably would still try though. And over time, I probably would get back. But like a lot of these people, y'all can't see the joke. A lot of these people are just a joke, man. Clothes don't stop you from being a clown. Money doesn't stop you from being a clown. Cars don't stop you from being a clown. If you a clown, you a clown. If you a grifter, you a grifter. What you have don't change who you are. If you a deceiver with $1 billion, you just a deceiver with $1 billion. You don't stop being what you are. based on what you have. You stop having what you had when you was poor, when you get money. You don't stop being who you are. What you do, what you say, what you think, and what you really believe, that's who you are. Regardless of your economic status, that's who you are. And when people realize that, when y'all realize that on here, y'all get better. Y'all change who y'all deal with. See, right now, y'all a bunch of emotionalists. Everything is emotion. What make me feel good? What make me ooh ah? Y'all emotionalists. That's how Biden got in there in the first place. Wasn't that he was showing that he would do a better job than Trump. He didn't win a single debate. He got in there because of emotion. Y'all was going by stuff that y'all didn't like Trump said and that y'all don't like Trump did. And that's really scary when grown men start thinking like that. Like, I don't got a problem with the Democrats and Biden because of anything emotional. It's the pattern of the things that they have done, even more so than the things that they've said. Now, you do need a balance because we still have poor people among us. We still have sick people among us. But I think that the president shall always be a true, not plant, but a true conservative. That's what I believe. Now, even if they're a plant, if they present conservative views, we can conserve our life in the U.S. I don't care what's going on in the rest of the world because the rest of the world don't affect me. I don't live in the rest of the world. I live here. So when you start talking about global this, global that, it's like it's like you got me by the face and you pushing me out the way for a bunch of people that don't even live here. And I think I might have to make another video because I got to get going. Time done got kind of crunched. But y'all do understand what I'm saying, right? I hope so. If you don't, feel free to ask questions. And again, this is what y'all need to do to these fake conservatives. Conservative, that means you believe in morals, right? Okay, so if you saying you're a conservative, but then the next day you saying you don't believe in morals, either you a plant or you're a fake. You're not really a conservative. Because that's how you conserve traditional values, is by things like the Bible and stuff like that. But this what I think a lot of y'all, and this what I'm going to start doing to a whole lot of y'all.